Welcome. This is Rolf Versus at the ZenCash bi-weekly update, also known as Block Ops. So we got a lot of updates today. Our marketing team has done a great job putting together the slides, just like always. I'm going to double check here that I'm streaming and everything's looking good and everybody can hear me and all that stuff. And it looks like I was streaming on the audio on the ZenCash YouTube channel, but not here on the bi-weekly update internal on Discord. So hopefully everybody can hear me now, and we're going to get going. All right, so I'm hosting the OBS today as well as doing the majority of the talking. So I'm excited to be able to do this. And a lot of the YouTubers have given us a little bit of feedback that we should be going through relatively quickly, and we'll do translations into other languages, and we'll be posting the slides on our blog website. So that there'll be a lot of follow-up information for this. Okay, on to the next slide. Oh, so why am I doing this and isn't Rob or other people joining? Because we got folks in Dubai. There's a big conference there, the World Blockchain Forum, I believe, and Rowan's there, Gustavo's there, Rob's there, Rosario's there, and they're having a great time meeting people and making lots of contacts and letting folks know about how great ZenCash is and what everybody, why everybody should be investing in secure nodes and using it for face-to-face transactions and all the other great things like that. All right, so we got a bunch of updates. We got the big picture, the secure node system, biz dev, marketing updates, and regional activity. And if you haven't seen it or downloaded it yet, our new white paper is here. So this is not a replacement of our existing white paper. It is an add-on white paper that talks specifically about how we're going to do the applications for side chaining. So side chaining is going to be on supernodes. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but this goes through, and it was written by Rob and Alberto and Pierre, and there's a bunch of good information on it about how we're going to do the side chains, the treasury implementation, the governance, and all that good stuff. So community member highlights. Love doing this. And I'm going to show some OBS trickery here and pop out so I don't take up any of the space on this. So Nathan conducted Russian market research and social media analysis. So love having folks in the community that contribute their time, their expertise, and all their other stuff to help make things better. Woki is a Horizen developer, so everybody loves the Horizen lightweight wallet. It keeps getting new features and getting improved all the time. He's a developer that's on it, and he went and represented Zen at the C3 conference. So that was really helpful. And then Jos, I'll say Jos, I would say if I was in the Netherlands, doing Dutch translations. My family's from the Netherlands, got folks in my family in Rotterdam and Amsterdam and Eindhoven, so I love that we have Dutch community member representation. So very excited about that. Okay, so the new white paper, I talked about that briefly, and so this is, it lays out how specifically our software architecture and development team is going to be implementing all the new features that we're talking about. Here over the last year since we launched, we have really gained an outstanding organization, and we have a very strong developer team. And that's one of the things I noticed in this industry is that if for cryptocurrencies that have strong development teams and are able to create software on their own, our secure node tracking and payment system is an example on that, that those cryptocurrencies tend to have good value and longevity. Okay, I'm just checking on the YouTube, make sure that everybody's hearing me and things like that. So I think things are looking good. All right, a little tough when I'm doing my own technical support. All right, so back on the white paper. So by having sidechains, this is additional information that's going to be run and managed by the supernodes. And supernodes are a new class of secure node. They're going to be bigger, more powerful, have a little bit more skin in the game from a Zen staking standpoint. And it will fully decentralize the secure node and supernode tracking and payment system. It'll also do all the voting management for the Treasury and governance implementation, and allow us to add on other decentralized applications. So go ahead and take a look at that white paper. Okay, big mining pool operator update. So one of our community members let us know about an issue, a security issue in Z-NOMP, which is not maintained by ZenCash. It's actually in the Z Classic GitHub. But since a lot of our miners do things with Z-NOMP, and it's important to our community, we decided that our developers would go ahead and rewrite the affected module and get that out there. Let's see, Jake's been, y'all might know him as Smirts on Discord, has been heading up, reaching out to the mining pool operators. And we also worked with the developers at Bitcoin Private, excuse me, not Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Private. Those developers were very responsive, very eager to assist in getting the updates out to their mining pool operators as well. So overall, it's been a very good experience. As far as we can tell, most people have updated. If there's other folks that are using the dependencies of Z-NOMP in their mining pool software, y'all might want to take a look at what the update has been. So, and we'll do a more complete explanation of what happened and what we did and all the different things involved a little further on down the line when everybody's gotten the opportunity to update their mining pools. Ledger Nano S support. Woohoo! Just upgraded my Nano this morning, and ZenCash is on there, so that's great. Having a hardware wallet is awesome, and I was noticing that there is not a lot of cryptocurrencies on a Nano, on the Nano available, maybe 20 or so. So this puts ZenCash in a pretty exclusive category of cryptocurrencies that are out there. So if you don't have a Ledger Nano, I encourage you to get one and use it. We do have other hardware wallets that we're working to get integrated onto and things like that, but this is the one that's working right now. So congratulations to the team that worked really hard on doing that, Wayne and Joseph and Jake, and you know, those guys will, in our help desk and in our documentation system, there's going to be information for people that are looking for assistance on using the Ledger Nano S if you're new to it. But the latest update's awesome because you can have so many different cryptocurrencies on it. The Ledger team's doing a great job. Okay, speaking of our help desk, I'm really excited about this. I see the tickets coming through all the time. People are asking for help. You can send an email to support@zencash.com, and due to the worldwide community that we actually have 24/7 support, so we call it Follow the Sun support. And people are sending us questions about all sorts of different things, asking about ZenCash, which is great, and our team has a chance to answer them. And then when there's a lot of people that ask a similar question or are looking for similar things, then we take that, because that has become a frequently asked question at that point, and put it into the overall documentation. So really appreciate everything that the team's doing on all the support side of things. All right, we got announcement about our flagship wallet. So we have outstanding wallets already with Swing and Horizen, and we have our Code Particle team working on new wallets as well. And these are on a different framework so that we'll be able to continue to expand and grow in conjunction with the Zen software node update stuff. And we're going to see those testable before the consensus event is the plan. So that's here in the next few weeks. We're excited to see those, and I think you'll enjoy those. They'll be desktop, they'll be mobile, all sorts of different things. So secure nodes. We talked about on the last bi-weekly about how our secure nodes continue to grow, and we have a lot of secure nodes right now. We have more than 10,000, and if you look at the official node count for Bitcoin nodes, it looks like we're above the amount of nodes for Bitcoin. So that's pretty excited. That's a milestone. Congratulations to everybody that's done the hard work of going through and setting those up, as well as maintaining them up and running, because those are two different activities. And we're getting folks that are doing secure node hosting that are reaching out to us and looking for assistance on setting up secure node hosting. So if you're not a technical person but you want to be involved in that, there are some folks that are doing things like that. And that's another reason why we like to have help desks and other stuff like that. So, people that are running services like that can get official help from us. Man, I didn't click the slide over. I clicked the wrong slide over. All right, well, this is a beautiful graph right here. You can see the up and to the right on the secure nodes. And right now it's centralized tracking and payment, and we're continuing to add centralized servers to do the tracking and payment, and our team, our system administrators are staying ahead of that, which is great. But we're also looking forward to the design of being able to do this on side chains with our supernodes. And the side chains on supernodes, it is somewhat similar actually to the way that that Dash does their master nodes and compensates their master nodes. So if you are able to maintain information about the blockchain and about information about other things that happen outside the blockchain, but in on your own side nodes, on your master nodes, you're able to have information about the blockchain and activities and do all sorts of different things on that and add the application. So this isn't a new concept, but this is the way that we're doing it. So it's great that we're carving out new space with our side chains on our super nodes and able to track and pay our secure nodes. All right, so some partnerships. I know that Lucy is going to be talking about some of the marketing things. I'll cover the partnerships here, and whenever Lucy's ready to jump in and talk, I'll let her do that. So ZenCash and Coindired. Coindired is based out of Isle of Man and allows for ways for people to purchase and sell Zen in a number of different ways. It's so similar to local Bitcoins, but it's got escrow services, and you can do Bitcoin or fiat, and even with M-Pesa in Kenya. So it's great to be able to give people different ways to acquire Zen. It will continue to be on additional exchanges or ways to send and receive Zen to and from different cryptos and fiat currencies. Announcing that we're on CryptoWolf today, and that is another way to buy and sell another crypto exchange. So as we manage this transition to full crypto economy, there has to be a lot of ways for people to get in and out of it. I like doing some of the things that I do in a full crypto economy, so paying people with Zen, paying people with Bitcoin, receiving it and things like that. But until we get to that, we have to have our ways to get in and out. And also we have to have ways to pay our bills. So having services like this and working with services like this are really important. Man, run my own technical stuff here. I'm messing up a little bit on the slides. So pretty cool logo here at CryptoWolf. You can go to cryptowolf.eu and you can follow them on Twitter and on Reddit and on Telegram as well. All right, I think we got the marketing slides coming up next. Lucy, are you online and ready to talk about that?
Yes, I am. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you just great. And I think you're coming through on the OBS onto YouTube as well. So I'm going to click over on that, and you got your marketing slide up and running. And,
all right.
And I'll get out of the way of that.
Looks good. Thank you so much, Rob. Hi, everyone. I'm Lucy from the marketing division. Rosario is still traveling back from the conference in Dubai, so I'll be presenting the marketing segment for you today. We've had a very busy couple of weeks. As Rob has just covered, we announced some really exciting news in our last bi-weekly meeting. And we have been running campaigns on these events since then. I gotta say, we are quite happy to see the kind of reaction and feedback we have gotten from our community. On the left side of the slide, the table shows some of the metrics that indicate our performance over the last 2 weeks across different outreach platforms versus the previous period. It's important for us to analyze metrics on our websites and social media to determine the success of our campaigns and adapt our online marketing strategies. So we see a really big increase in visitors to our websites and the numbers of people that we reached. So the even more significant part is that not only did we get more visitors and viewers, we also had a huge increase in engagement rate. The engagement level across different channels is actually some of the biggest growth in the past 2 weeks. So our website visitors spent more time on the site and built more pages, and the average proactive interaction on Facebook increased by 152%, and the engagement level on YouTube increased by 158%. The last bi-weekly meeting was very popular. And then the impression metrics on our tweets, which indicates engagement level as well, also increased by 10%. So speaking of Twitter, I want to make people aware that we have been continuously impersonated by different scam Twitter accounts lately. I mean, we reported and blocked them as soon as we see them, but and luckily they got shut down pretty quickly. But but they just keep coming. So please pay very close attention to the username of the account who tweets out questionable things. And then I want to take this opportunity also to remind people that we will never ask for any funds. So please be careful out there on the internet. And let's get back to the slide. And then the table on the right is titled Engagement Comparison. And this is interesting. This shows how well ZenCash performed this past week on Facebook in comparison to some of our competitors. So if you look closer, you will notice that we actually have the least number of page followers compared to the other guys. And they have a lot more followers. However, we have the highest engagement rate this week by quite a bit in comparison to them. So this is significant because this tells us that instead of passively receiving the information that we put out there, the viewers are actually reacting to our content and interacting with us. So this kind of proactive interaction is the type of growth we want to achieve because we know our project is awesome. Our projects, our products are amazing, and our team is fabulous. But how do we let people know all of that and build a connection with us? So our goal is not just to distribute information. Our goal is to connect with people in meaningful ways. So in order to do that, we always try to make sure that the content we release provides real value to our community. And we always try to communicate in a way that our users find relatable and meaningful. And these engagement metrics are good indicators of how effectively we are achieving the goal. But do we always do that successfully? No, we don't. But we are also very adaptive and definitely not afraid of changes. And this is one of the ways by which we grow as a project and as a team, that we keep learning and adjusting our methods until we get it right. So if you have any ideas or suggestions on how we can improve, we welcome your input and definitely reach out to us and let us know.
Thanks, Lucy. I think the marketing team's been doing awesome, and I think the being able to try new things and then rapidly adapt is really everything that needs to be done these days. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so and then I wanted to cover like one small part on this slide. That we have actually multi-language websites. Yeah, on the now we can see. So yeah, that's another important value for us is inclusiveness. It's important for us to connect with people from different parts of the world that speak different languages and live in different cultures, because we are global projects and our community is made up of people from everywhere. So we've been really focusing on making our content available in multiple languages, and our official website is now available in German, Chinese, and Korean. It's also available in Russian, but an updated version of that will be integrated very soon. And also the website will be available in Italian, Spanish, and Japanese very, very soon. So all of this effort, contributed to the success of our recent marketing campaign. So next slide, please.
Cool. Thanks, Lucy. Are you going over this next slide, or you want me to do it?
Oh, yeah, I can do it.
Well, I'm trying to finish up in our 20-minute time limit, so I'm going to go through it kind of quick. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay.
All right. Thanks for the update. Appreciate it.
I got carried away.
No problem. No problem. All right. We got a lot of, yeah, thank you, Lucy. I appreciate it. We got a lot of conferences and events coming up. We are fortunate to have people all over the place that are able to go attend these for us, which is wonderful. And I know Rob gets out to a number of them as well. And so we've had a good turnout at the World Blockchain Forum. We're going to have one in Kenya. I expect that Hugh is going to be there. Changes in Amsterdam, I'd love to go to that one. I'm not sure going to be able to. Charleston's a nice close by one. Consensus New York City, we're going to have a booth. That's a pretty big conference. If you're able to go and get a ticket to that, that'd be great. If you're there in New York City and don't have a ticket but want to stop by, I'm sure we'll be in and out of the conference and doing all sorts of things. And then in Belarus, Alex is going to be at that conference as well. So it's great to have representation all over the place. And country lead updates. Because our community has asked us to do things a little bit shortly, we don't have updates from everybody. However, you can see how many different folks we have all over the world, and they continue to grow. There are some highlights that I'm going to go through, and we're going to post these slides on our blog afterwards so people can go through some of the details for the communities. But David is doing stuff in Russia, and we found a lot of success with grassroots campaigns, so we're going to continue doing that stuff and interviews with YouTubers and radio stations and podcasts and things like that. Going to be going to a summit in Austria, and we now have French translations being done, which is wonderful. France has a huge population of people, and a lot of people speak French, so that's going to be wonderful. And a number of different events in Europe. We have our team, Angie and Ruben, at Talentland in Guadalajara, and they had a good presence there. That was a huge conference, and there was talk about crypto media, or cryptocurrencies, as it were. And then doing more stuff in Kenya as well. And it's important for us to be in the biggest continent in Africa. So wherever we can get in and get things going there is important to us. In Italy, Scandinavia, so Stockholm, and in China and Japan and Korea, we have been just growing like crazy. Like Lucy said, with the website translations, with being on exchanges, with having our team over there getting out and about, doing things, the social media presence, that's very exciting. So we're going to continue to expand in different regional areas all over the world. If you see a part of the world that you're in that we're not represented, please reach out to Rowan or send an email to info@zencash.com, or come on to the Discord and ask. And we have a process that we go through to help you out. But we definitely want to continue to grow our representation all over the world. So that's the update. Just like every 2 weeks, we'll take some questions, and I can provide some answers, or maybe I can pull someone from who is on the Discord here to get some answers as well. And so I'll look through some of the questions that people might have posted and see if there's any questions to answer. And let's see. So there's I know that Spencer and Mac have been doing a lot on the help desk, as well as other folks. So some of the new things is how to use the ledger and how to get ZenCash on that, and the specifics of that. So there's going to be some updates and instructions on that. All right, so I got a question on the YouTube. What is Zen's stance on having transactions private by default? So that's a great point. So just because ZenCash and the other ZK snark-based cryptocurrencies have security, the most common types of transactions are the transactions that are just like Bitcoin, those the transparent transactions. We also have the shielded transactions, and shielded transactions, if you send from one shielded address to another, it's on the blockchain, and nobody can see who sent it, who received it, and how much. And we follow the development of ZK snarks from Zcash, and they're continuing to make a lot of updates to make things easier to use. So the ideal would be, for example, to have shielded transactions on a mobile device, be able to send and receive them very quickly, very easily, and when we're at that point in development, and there's support for the other places where you might want to send and receive transactions to, that'd be a good time to switch over to having shielded transactions be the default type of transaction. But the usability just isn't there quite yet. This is still a work in progress across the board on the ZK Snark implementation. But we're doing a lot of things to make it easy to transfer from transparent transactions to shielded transactions and back, so that you can self-shield. If you do it smartly, don't do the same amounts into the shielded address and back out, and try to give it a little bit of time in between. Then you can self-shield by going from one transparent address to a shielded address to another. And that's why our focus on the Swing wallet and other wallets that can handle shielded transactions is so important. Okay, so scaling research with IOHK. That research is going, it's in progress. We have our lead software architect and software development manager, Alberto, who's working hand in hand with IOHK. He went to Kiev and had a meeting with IOHK and InfoPulse a few weeks ago, and is continuing to have regular update meetings. So I don't have any updated information for y'all on that, but it is an important focus to us, because if we become wildly successful, as we expect to here at ZenCash, then we'll have to have the issue and concern of the usability and quickness and growth like that. Luckily, we're not there yet, but we're on a path to get there. So that's why scaling research is so important. Okay, timing for beginning supernodes. So we have a bunch of upstream improvements that are about to hit testnet in the Zen node software. And these are from some Zcash and Bitcoin upstream improvements. One of them is going to reduce the amount of memory required for running a node and doing a shielded transaction from 3 gigs down to 1.7 gigs. So that's going to be pretty helpful. And there's a number of other updates in them. When we run that, when we put that update through, we're also going to be changing the payouts to 70-30-30 or 70-10-10-10 that we talked about last update. And about that time, we should be having a secure node, a super node tracking and payment system that's parallel and similar to the secure node tracking and payment system that we have right now, but just tuned for more robust performance on the super nodes. So end of May is about when we're looking for that. Trezor wallet integration. So we are working actively on a Trezor Model T wallet integration, not the standard Trezor integration. The Trezor Model T is designed from the get-go to have many different cryptocurrencies integrate by writing stuff in MicroPython and submitting it through their process and getting it up and going. So we have an active development project in the works for the Trezor Model T. I got my early order ones a few weeks ago, shipped one of them off to developers, and so we have actual hardware we can test on. Okay, stake address on the ledger. So ledger is a device that you don't want to send hundreds of small transactions to. If you look back to the ledger history, there were some people that were mining to their ledger address and they were sending, I don't know, hundreds of small transactions to it. And then after a few weeks, they'd go to send some transactions off the ledger, or they send funds off the ledger, and they would be trying to take thousands of transactions and have it sign that. The poor little ledger overheated. Wasn't able to complete that. So there's in the blog or in the support on Ledger, they say don't send a bunch of tiny transactions to the ledger. So be careful about that. Okay, those are the major questions that I see on YouTube, and I'm quickly going to scan. Oh, I see one from Stoic Nate, a longtime Zen supporter here. Okay, stake for supernodes being in multi-sig. You know, I don't have an answer if the stake for supernodes can be kept in multi-sig addresses. I do know that multi-sig addresses are treated somewhat differently. I don't see why not, but I also don't have an answer for that. So we'll get back on that one. And don't have any detail about how claims are going to be processed for payment. Once we have the, let me back up a little. Question was, how are payment and other things going to be done when the supernodes do all the tracking and payment for all the nodes that are out there? And when that happens, when there's a downtime claim like we have right now, how's that going to be processed? I don't have an answer for that. I know that we can come up with a way to deal with it. Hopefully the whole system is just going to be so perfect that we're not going to have to deal with any claims. All right, I think that's going to be it for today. If you have further questions, ask him in Discord, ask him in Telegram. Twitter is always a great way to do that too. And you can also save them for our next bi-weekly, which should be 2 weeks from now. So thank you everybody for joining us for our ZenCash bi-weekly update, and we'll see you next time.